Thanks. I haven't been able to sleep well for ages.
Woof.
Am I live? Yeah, I got something. I don't know. I don't know what to call it. If it were my shoulder, I would call it my rotator cuff, but it's like in my hip,
Hmm.
and it's bothering me lately. And it hasn't bothered me in like 3 or 4 years, which is annoying. So,
Is it your hip tater cuff?
hip-tator?
That's not okay.
Andrew, you're better than
I
this.
don't ever want to know what that is. I don't ever want to know what that is.
It's a potato you put in your hip.
No.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Wow. All right.
Anyways, hello internet.
Hello, internet. Welcome to the party, pal. Okay.
What an intro.
This is why we play the game. There's the link. There's the linky link. That's the comic book is now the new splash screen.
Love that.
Yeah. Ears and all. Lack of ears and all.
Nobody knows if you don't say it.
You have an ear in this one picture, the one that's up on Roll20.
There you go.
That has an ear. I have an ear. Was it Galaxy Quest? I've got a name. You've got a name, guy. Do I?
I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie.
Will Wheaton's #1 Star Trek movie.
It's great.
Apparently, according to Will Wheaton, it's his #1 favorite Star Trek movie.
Well, Will Wheaton would certainly know best.
He would have an opinion
about Will Wheaton's #1.
According to him, Below Decks, that like sort of animated.
Yeah, I've
thing.
heard good things about it actually.
Yeah, he's like he goes. First of all, it's funny. Secondly, it's practically autobiographical in some ways. So, or biographical, I guess I should say. Anyway, all right. Hey, let's talk about this. Let's talk about stuff. I'm not going to get too much into what happened last time because I feel like Silas missed it, and B, I'm not sure any of the rest of y'all are going to want to talk about it anytime soon.
I think, and I honestly, I didn't get the chance to watch the replay, but honestly, I think it would be funny for me to come into this not knowing, and then in character being like, "Oh wait, what? What was that?"
Yeah. So let's go with this. It's like a Saturday night the week before Christmas. Maybe yeah. Like a Friday night, let's say Friday night the week before Christmas. And now I'm gonna go back on myself and say it's a week before Christmas, Saturday night, and you are coming off of something where you're finally paying attention to your phone again, and there's a number of text messages from Caleb, like, dude, what's Missy's last name?
Ramirez.
Dude, the Ramirez pre-Christmas Christmas party. Dude, it's starting. Dude, you're late. Dude, you're really late. You should get here. Tamales are about to go in. No messages from Perry, although at one point in time he does send you like a incomprehensible animated GIF. And then Mitzi gets to send one text. This is what I'm saying. Mitzi has sent one text as a gentle hey, or not so gentle. So I'm curious, like, what's the energy on this message, this reminder?
The energy itself, I think, is going to be gentle, yet wary, yet kind of like, no, kind of pushy, like, also kind of wary just because of how she feels like right now with them. Like she wants him to be here there, but at the same time, she's like, I don't even know if he cares enough to be here.
Ooh.
Why should I bother to push?
Take a powerful blow. Sean takes a powerful blow.
So I think it's like, hey, just want to let you know we are having tamale night. It's they're currently in right now. Uh, I understand if you're busy, but I would really like you to be here. Uh, Call me when you get the chance.
So, Silas, what do you do? What? First of all, what were you doing?
I was on Mars.
That's
No wonder you had bad cell service.
Yeah, Oya dragged me out there for some zero G training because she was like, you have to be ready for this stuff because even though you got lucky with the whole like monkey thing, you have no idea what you're doing. And was just basically like playing back the tape, and I was like, "Yeah, that was great." And she was like, "That was amateur hour," and pointing out all of these mistakes. And was just kind of like putting me through the ringer on that.
That's fantastic.
So
You're an embarrassment to yourself and others. I would like if I were transcendent, I would have actually been embarrassed to be punched by you.
right.
I don't have. Oh, I'll get in here. We'll do it this way. There we go. That's the picture I was looking for. And Oya is like, she's somewhat self-contained, in terms of her abilities and stuff, but she goes, obviously I'm much stronger on Earth.
Right.
I hate being out here. I don't do these missions if I have any choice. Sometimes you don't get a choice. Sometimes you're in places you just don't want to be. Some places, sometimes you have to go somewhere or be somewhere and take care of business. And it is the last place on or off Earth that you ever want to be. And this is the voiceover, because she's like running you through this, like making you do laps around the big mountain and everything like that. Stopping on a dime, not disturbing rocks, or dust or anything like that, because rovers have to come out here and actually discover stuff, things like that. And it kind of cuts to you like back at the Exemplar Tower, and you're putting your stuff back on, your regular stuff, and you're trying out the new suit, and sometimes the button sticks and the suit doesn't retract, and you're like doing all this, you're pulling on the other things, and you're checking your text, and her voiceover is still going. You get the yellow box up above where she's doing the voiceover. Sometimes you have to go someplace is the last place that you want to be for whatever reason, and the text message is like, "Hey, really hope you can make it over to Tamale night." And it doesn't matter how hard it is, but you've got to do it. Is Oya's little voiceover thing in this moment. What's the look on Birthright's face?
Just like immediately like shit, and just panic, because like completely forgot, like blasts off
The
like
streak
flies
away from the building. Yeah.
Flies away, like flies through Harris Teeter as quick as he can, picks up a dessert, and like lands in front of Mitzi's house, like just as the last car is leaving, with a tray of dessert.
Oh no! We got to get you. We're gonna get you there on time, but we're gonna get you there at the most awkward possible.
Oh,
moment.
perfect!
Yeah.
That's even worse. Love it.
You're gonna get there on time for the activities.
Oh no!
None of the. So you go in, it's like, "Hi, sorry I'm late," and they're like, "No, come in," and they're bustling you, right? Mama Ramirez is there, and Abuela is there, and they're getting you sat down, and they're getting you tamales and everything, and you're kind of you've suddenly acquired a plate with food on it, and you're looking around. There isn't. Mom, Dad, and Abuela, and the kids, like the twins, and the brother that's in your class, literally the only faces you know.
I feel like he flies in and he's at first a little bit nervous, and then somebody puts the food in front of him, and he's just like Andrew Garfield in the first Spider-Man when he first gets the powers and just just like scarfs it all down because he's been like working out so vigorously.
Huh?
And it's just everyone's kind of like, that's weird.
That's a hungry white boy right there. Is what that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it finally. I mean, it's also you can pay attention to the plate rather than anybody else. And when the food is done, and Abuela is like, or actually, it's probably going to be her mom. It's like, well, okay, seconds then. You stay there and digest, I hope, and or finish swallowing, maybe even. And I'll go get you some more. And she kind of goes off and she's talking to people as she goes. Abuela sits down next to you, whew, flapping her face with the apron bottom kind of thing. How are you?
I'm exhausted, but I'm happy to be here.
Mm. It's nice to have one of Mimi's friends here. It's good.
It's yeah. It's, listen, kind of like looking around, like, did you do much in space?
No, not very. Away we'd go. I mean, actually, quite a lot. There was a long time where everyone on the team thought I was from space, or that my powers were. Uh, they might
Space
be.
sucks.
It
Space
does.
is the worst.
It's quite terrible. It is. Yes. There were some things that my teammates would call it. There was a joke came up when Star Trek started. I can't say it. I'm not going to say it here. The children might hear. But we no, it's very difficult. Were you in space today?
Well, I was
me?
in space, yeah, doing zero G
Oh.
training,
Ah.
and that's why I was so late. I
Mhm.
you don't get very much cell service up there, so I
No, I
kind of spaced it
don't
out.
imagine.
How did you do it? How did you balance out having a family with doing the powers
I
thing?
didn't have a family back then. And it's probably just as well. It's very difficult having people that you have to care about and then the world that you have to care about. It's very difficult. I had friends. I had family who was my family. I didn't make a family. I wasn't married or have anybody that I was dating or that I have to pay attention to uh, outside of the work that I was doing. And I wasn't dating any other people on my team. Not on my team. Uh, Sometimes people, but not the people on the team. That would have been very bad. Also, they were all just. And she uses a word. I'm not. You're gonna have to go back to your Spanish class and look that one up. Um, you're pretty sure you know what she said, but uh,
Right. Well,
the men on the team were, and this was before any of us thought other women, or at least I wouldn't. Opportunities missed. Anyway.
well, I'm just having a rough go of it because all I ever wanted to do was be a superhero, and I've been thinking that I was for a long time, and suddenly I am, but also like I have people that I actually care about for the first time in my life, and I don't want to give that up, but it feels like I'm having to wrestle between those two things. Sorry to just dump this on
No,
you.
no, no. I mean, you've been thinking about it for weeks, so
Uh,
I know.
That's disconcerting, but okay, I'll allow it.
I am. I think at my age, which we are not discussing, I look back and I think about the things that I wish I had done more of, and the things I wish I hadn't wasted so much time on. Maybe, and I can't tell you what that's going to be for you. I can't tell you what that's going to be for you.
Was it worth it?
Oh, so it's definitely worth it, but you still have things that you look at and you say, I wish I'd done more of this or less of that. You need to look at the things you're doing and think, is this going to be the thing that I'm very proud that I did a lot of? I say this to. What's your dad's name? Sorry, Mitzi.
His name is Luca.
And the mom's name?
Julia.
Julia. I say this to Julia and even Luca sometimes, a lot actually. No one I know has ever sat on their deathbed and said, "I wish I had done more overtime." Everybody sits there and says, "I wish I'd spent more time with my kids." So you don't have kids and you don't have overtime, but maybe that's what you think about. You think about what you're going to be happy that you did. This is a work. What you're doing is work. And it's good that you're excited about your work and that you're looking at your work and everything, but maybe it's a little early for you to think about nothing but work, 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 work. If this was you putting a bunch of time into Best Buy, I would know exactly what to say. So I'm sure the outfit is prettier than the blue polo shirt, but maybe it's the same thing. Maybe it's not. Maybe this is
But
the
maybe
best
it
thing.
is.
Maybe it is. It's hard to say. You should talk to your friends. Oh wait, they aren't here.
Where where's Mitzi?
They had to go. They had a thing. They should be back soon. I think they got it straightened out. But yeah, that's the thing is like when I got here and when you got here and I said like the faces you recognize are like the twins and the older brother and the younger brother and grandma and mom and dad. That's because your friends aren't here. Like Mitzi's not here, and neither is Andrew.
So upon hearing that, I guess this is probably about the time that the second plate is coming out, and I stand up and notice this has been so great. I have to go. I am so sorry.
But
I will be.
You haven't even seen.
I hope you enjoy the dessert. I picked it out myself, and I will be back as soon as I can. Bye. Runs out the door. So immediately calling his friends.
Okay. So I'm wondering if he's like dialing and he walks out the front door and you two are walking back in. Or you three are walking back in? Like, is it that awkward, or are you actually messaging?
Yes. Did y'all do the Thanksgiving walk?
No, that's not what they did. I think it's like you're going outside and you're texting and stuff, and you look up and they're like walking up the sidewalk.
You see Mitzi like finishing pulling off her mask and like shoving it in a bag.
So they're definitely not the Thanksgiving walk. So remembering kind of what was going on there with everything, Caleb, what's the look on your face? Like, what's your expression unguarded before you're getting back into the family get together and you have to like turn back on? Like, what do you?
I'm like way overexcited because I just told some like douchebag rook crony that I was gonna beat like I was gonna have to go through every single crony because I'm never gonna recognize him because he is faceless and a corporation to me.
That's so good.
And I'm like I've been talking this thing the whole time. Mitzi's had to listen to me as we're coming back. Just
he's going up the walk. He goes, "Man, I have been wanting to say that to somebody from Rook for so long. Oh my god, that was awesome."
Also,
on her phone, like texting, just like, yep, like.
That's really what it is. I'm just like, I'm also very proud that I didn't say anything rude to the Aegis agent, even though I wanted to. I was just like, be nice to the Aegis people. They're not as shitty as Rook. They're not great, but you know what?
Wow, that's a low bar.
Real quick, I'm just now realizing I'm still finishing up doing the playbook switch. Do I pick 2 moves from the playbook, or just however many it says?
How many does it say to do?
It says for Protege, it says choose 3.
How many? I think you do 3. Because what did you keep? You kept suck it.
I kept suck it. I kept
straight up creeping.
straight up creeping, and then game face.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be a lot of moves to kind of keep track of, but I would say
Okay.
pick it up. And we'll have to talk a little bit about how the protege works. Is like what ability do you have versus what do your mentor have, kind of thing, and what do you not have in common? And we'll have to kind of, for now, we'll hand wave it and say you've got the thing you have, but thematically you want the thing that you guys don't have in common. It helps with conversations and stuff.
And that actually works out really well because I feel like Oya would deny mundane, and that's kind of like one of my strength areas.
Okay, cool. And I think if she's supposed to have one that she sort of embodies, right?
Yeah. We think superior?
No. She's much more feel and act kind of a thing.
Okay.
I'm not sure about mundane. Actually, she's going to deny.
Yeah, I'll let you call that one.
What does Oya? Oya deny. Boy, that is tough. Let's say that she embodies. Man, it's kind of funny because she doesn't seem like a planner, but she absolutely seems like the kind of person that can provoke an entire group to do what she wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's say she embodies. We'll go with your superior. Let's say she embodies superior and she denies danger.
Okay.
Yeah, freak. She's all about some freak, but she's also about like maybe not accidentally killing a bunch of people. Oh, you know what?
Yeah,
I take that
that's a
back. I
good
take that. So embodies superior, denies. Yeah, we'll say denies danger. That's fine. We'll do that. It'll become what she is.
Cool.
She gotta shift a little bit. Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, you're kind of. There's this book I read not that long ago called Magic for Liars, and it's a person with no magic powers investigating basically American Hogwarts where there's been a murder, and she's in the dean's office or the principal's office or on the front and looking out through the window in the hallway, and this kid's just walked through, and he's looking back at her out in the hallway, and he's like looking at her and he's texting, and his fingers are just flying all over the board, and she says to the the receptionist, who's also like the nurse, the school nurse, is that like a spell they're doing? No, they all do that. Just yeah. I was thinking of it as Missy's going up there going while she's typing along. Who were you texting? Were you texting him again or trying to figure out?
No, I think she was like checking her phone to see if he texted and didn't see anything. Kind of disappointed she is.
Yeah, but he left you on red though.
Yeah, she noticed that he finally read it, and then like kind of staring at it for a second, then goes over to start texting Zhao and be like, "Why are boys so dumb?"
Hey,
we're the worst.
And then the dumb boy standing there, like coming out, like no, he's like coming out, like no, it was great, I enjoyed the dessert. I hope it was. Maybe I can stay.
So I want to do something because this is kind of how this is going to happen. As we walk up and we see him, I'm going to like stop and go from like super excited to like deadpan. And I'm just going to lean over to Mitzi and go, "Are we mad at him? Are we mad?"
I think it's when she hears Silas and like looks over and like looks up and she puts her phone away. Like she doesn't even send a text yet to Zhao. She just puts the phone away. Like drafted.
Didn't actually hit send.
Um. I think she's like she's just gonna just quickly shake her head.
Are you sure?
Caleb. Yeah.
You sure
Is
we're not
that your
mad at
final
it?
answer?
Feels like we're mad at it.
You sure?
Feels like we're still mad at it.
Because I can be mad.
How dare you? What are we mad at him about? How dare you? Long pause.
All right, I'm gonna like walk in and be like, as we're like walking in, I'm like, "Hey, bud," and I'm just gonna like whisper as I walk past and be like, "You fucked up," and just and just walk in and leave them alone.
Oh, you just left them like
Oh
okay.
yeah, I'm
Left
out
the two
of
of you
this
on the front.
situation.
And Perry, after the thing with Facet, Perry did not come back with you guys. He said he had some stuff he needed to talk over with the Doctor Infinity hologram. So he went back to his bunker. So he's got some stuff to process.
Yeah, and I think Mitzi's just there like watching Caleb walk in like without her. And then glances over to Silas just like, "Oh,
Hey, I have been bad, and I realized that.
thanks for showing up."
I wanted to be here earlier. Oya had me out in space, and I kept trying to get back. I lost track of time. It's hard to keep track of time when you're in space. I'm not really sure what time zone that Mars is in, but I really wanted to be here, and I showed up as quickly as I could. And I brought dessert. I brought you something, and he has like a tiny little box. But he like sets it aside. He's like, you can open that later. I realize that like this is probably. I'm sorry. Like these past couple weeks, I've been not here, and this whole thing is very new for me. I 2 weeks ago was just a normal kid from somewhere, and suddenly I have superpowers. And I don't really know how to process that because part of me thinks that this is what I've always wanted, but part of me is like, is this really what I want, or is it because of somebody else? And maybe the thing that I really want is actually right here. And I don't really know how to reconcile those things. So I'm sorry, and I hope that you can forgive me, and maybe we can try this again.
I whatever else happens, I am going to make you roll comfort and support. But I don't have to do that right now unless you want to have some sort of mechanical indicator of how well that lands. Either one of you.
I haven't said anything, so.
Do you want some sort of mechanical indicator of how well that lands or not? Or you can just go with what's in there, because one way or the other, we're gonna let mechanics go in here, because that should be a comfort and support.
So I do have 3 conditions.
So I would like a comfort and support. I would like these. I would like what he says to make me feel better.
Yes. Also, too, it's just that whole like teenage. Oh, let's let the dice talk.
Let's let the dice talk.
Should I go ahead and throw that roll?
Yeah, incidentally, I should have had Abuela shift your labels, but don't worry, I can do that later.
I was actually thinking about that.
It'll be a label shift that will probably have helped this roll, but I'm going to make it wait. So you can just roll with your mundane of 2. I think it's fine. Whoop.
He probably still hasn't had time to process that. Jesus!
Oh, it would have been enough too.
Oh,
That potential.
that's a level up. It's an advancement. Yep.
So my question is, we've gone round and around about this in the past. Every group has a different answer to this. Well, first of all, Andrew, you could
Yo.
you could go in and you could go in there and go, oh god, if I leave them alone, they're gonna just self-destruct, and you can go back
It's
out there
true.
with something else.
Okay, so
Or
yeah.
the question for the group is always like, can the person being covered and supported actually spend team to help by reaching across the aisle, kind of thing? But that's kind of for us to figure out if that's
So
how that feels.
well, okay, so this is a question for Sean and Mo. Do you guys want me to come in and help?
That's entirely
like,
fair
do you
question.
want this to like succeed? Or are you cool with the narrative being that this does not? Because I'm down either way. Because I'll jump in.
I mean, like
It's a good
I-
speech. I feel bad about it
It
being
was.
bad. It was a good speech. But at the
It
same
is,
time, it's
but-
pretty good that it fails too. So
at the same time, it's just words, and so there's that. And yeah, I mean, so yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it up to you guys.
So, do you want the conditions are cleared or not, Mitzi?
I mean, I do, but also the conditions we have are afraid, angry, and guilty right now. So, they're very.
We have the exact same conditions. We have.
kind
Oh
of makes
no!
sense after this last thing. But
I'm angry, guilty, and insecure.
Oh,
But
I'm only guilty because I broke into that agent's brain. That's all. Yeah, it is just words, and I think there's a long pause because Mitzi's not only like listening to him, hearing his words, also trying to feel the emotions. And she recognizes like his feelings are valid, but also processing it herself. I don't know if she's her first thing. She's very. No, she's not insecure on paper right now. She's very insecure overall. And I think she's not allowing herself to believe it. That makes sense.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. She's really quiet and letting him talk, and eventually she's like, go.
You want me to go?
No, don't. Oh. I just it's been weird, and I know you've dealing with a lot. It's just I feel like I'm being put on the back burner, and like I hear what you're saying, and that you're doing things. It's just I don't know how I get into all of this anymore.
I had a talk with Abuela about this, and because I'm still learning how the whole work life balance thing works. And you're right, I haven't been prioritizing you, and that's my fault. And I'm gonna give you space to be mad about that because that's valid.
All
And
you've given me is space.
ooh,
ouch. Um,
And I don't want any more space. I'm tired of the space. I'm tired of being left in the dark. I'm tired of all this. Like
I don't want to do that anymore. But what I'm trying to say is, if you give me the chance, I promise I'm going to work on it, and I'm going to work on making you a priority.
okay.
I know I haven't shown it much, but I need you, and you're important to me, and you help keep me grounded, and I want this to work out.
Me too.
And then the door opens and Abuela's like, come in, come in, come in. We're going to do, you haven't had your seconds and we're going to do the desserts and there's presents. So come on, both of you, come on. Get in here. Get in here. And she ushers you into the light that's coming out of the front door here. I have you guys standing over on the Roll20 here who you can kind of see. And as you guys are going into the door, the camera kind of pulls back to show the house and kind of pans to the right and the open garage door. And your dad's kind of standing in the shadows holding 2 big bags of ice. And a absolutely gobsmacked expression on his face.
Did I forget to change out of my outfit?
No, but you were talking about being on Mars with Oya. And not being able to give Mitzi enough attention because you were busy doing the superhero thing. Welcome to the 6.
Did we notice that, or is it?
Oh no.
Okay.
No. He was over in the garage, like inside, and was probably about to come out and was like, "Hang on a minute, this sounds like something I'd like to hear."
I was running through the 6 with my woes.
Oh,
Shit!
okay. I know this is a really dumb thing. Can I be arm wrestling with the twins?
Yes.
Both at the same time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I'm like.
Oh,
Just-
2 arms, 2 twins. Gotcha.
Yes,
I thought it was
I'm
like 2 twins on
wrestling
one arm.
both.
I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna go very well.
Meanwhile, he's in there being Uncle Caleb. Like,
What was the TikTok that you sent? There's always that one boy at the one white boy at Tamale night,
yeah.
Yes.
Plus Mark.
and
I'm rocking with Mark because Mark is rocking with us.
yeah.
I know it's dumb. It's
Whether or
just the
not-
little things like that.
Whether or not you are socially incredibly awkward in this situation, everybody welcomes you because they appreciate the energy that you bring to the awkwardness. So, they've adopted you like kind of a sort of a slow puppy that randomly runs into fences when it's chasing a ball, things like that, you know. I'm just saying, like when you make the inevitable social faux pas of hanging around a bunch of people who are outside of your culture, you get a pass due to clearly meaning well, despite being very bad at it at times. But you're putting, and partly because you have Abuela blessing. That's totally a thing. Okay, so the rest of the evening is awkward, not horrible, not awesome, but not horrible. It feels okay. It feels like there's some hope for the future. Your dad is especially enthusiastically greeting Silas, and lots of pats on the back and lots of making sure that you're included and asking about the new semester and all that kind of stuff, which seems, fine, good. He gets a couple of weird. Dad gets a couple of weird looks from Abuela, and occasionally, like she'll look at him and then look at you, Mitzi, and kind of look at him, and look at you.
He looks at me, and
Yeah,
I
she's
look
like-
at him. He looks at me, and I look at him.
And then you never really you don't know what are you doing? And she's like, apparently the look wasn't enough, and she's not willing to go any further than that. So
And then when Mitzi knocks in to talk to her, she just kicks her out.
Nope. Nope.
Not at this party.
There's a thing is Mitzi, I think, is definitely more powerful in Gestalt than Abuela is. Probably more powerful than she ever was. But there are certain specialties of application where Abuela is essentially non-pariah. Like she is when it comes to subtle mental eavesdropping, there's none better. She is the fucking Galactus of wheedling out family secrets. Yeah. But yeah, and when it comes to that kind of stuff, she's very, very good. You have excellent walls because Abuela has shown you
Yeah.
the way of things. All right.
Yeah, and if she didn't have these walls, it would be like a tsunami of noise just in her brain constantly.
Yeah, she's like, you're everybody else I can tune out. It's fine. You are powerful enough that I need to teach you how to like not be. Because otherwise it'd be very annoying for me. It'd be like you're playing music in your room at full volume all the time.
Mhm.
And your music taste is
Oh, thank
your
you.
music taste is actually fine, but what's going on in your head is like if you had terrible music taste. So
Okay.
that kind of thing. All right. Do you ever open up the present from Silas yet, or do you leave that because you're not ready to open?
I think she's gonna save it till like the end, and like family's starting to leave, and like Silas is still around.
He's
I know
he's still around, but I gotcha.
Let my dogs have to fall off the couch.
Of course they are.
Oh, there she goes.
Slide. Oh God, I gotta catch myself. The puppy gonna
Let me
come
feed
say
her lunch
hello?
real quick. Just skip me real quick. I'm gonna go feed her lunch.
All right. So we have we have a press conference. We have a press conference to do.
Oh, we haven't done that yet.
No. Oh God, no. I'm not gonna. There was two important things that you were very involved, very invested in that I couldn't bear the thought of doing without you actually here to suffer through it. And one of them,
Great.
yeah, one of them was the press conference, and one of them was the mall shopping. So that's why it's a pre-Christmas thing. So I think I want to do the press conference first. I think. Which will be great. But that's probably tomorrow. So that's like a Sunday. It's like a weekend kind of thing. We're gonna do this big deal. They're gonna do it on a weekend because you guys have school. Haha. What, if any, like prep or conversations with the team or people on the team or anything like that do you want to do before that? And I'm talking to Silas in this case, but also Caleb, knowing that that's coming. If Caleb wants to show up early and talk to Streak, that kind of thing.
So I'm gonna be I'm gonna be nice to Streak, and I'm gonna wait till after the press conference to scream at her.
Sure.
I say scream as a very like general term. It will just be angry talking, probably.
I don't have the right Streak picture here, but I'm just gonna. It's fine.
But I am gonna send a text to Streak like it's like after the press conference we're talking in person.
She sends you back a smiley face and a sneaker emoji.
I don't know what that means.
She probably doesn't either. That's just one of the ones that she has on her frequently used list. She throws it in a lot to keep people off base. Off balance. Ooh. Where is... Look at that one.
Did I miss?
The press conference is tomorrow. Oh, that looks like that's Oya to scale, I think. That'll work.
To scale.
To scale.
Oya's true form is actually just the entire size of Halcyon City.
She's the Watcher. Let's see. Wow, dang, everybody's huge.
Dang.
These guys are enormous.
George.
Dragging people in here. Lord D, they're all big. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Who else? Oh, we gotta have Blackbird in here.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be great. That's
Will it?
fine.
Yeah, sure.
It's fine.
It'll be fine. We want to get that. We want to get Vigil. I think Vigil's already in here. Oh. Somehow scarier when they're big and it's also transparent. It's like I am to scale and the size of a building. Oh, there we go. Last one. Lovely. Awesome.
Yeah, she will open it later in the night when people
So
start
I
leaving.
want to. So you Sean, what's the present?
Hold on 1 second.
All right.
That's like I hadn't thought that far in advance.
No, I had. I'm just getting it. So when you first open the box, there is a note at the top. It is in the chat. And then
In the chat. Oh my
or
god.
in the general
General.
thing.
The possum thing? No.
No, it's in the game. It's in the game chat.
It's in the
That
game
would have
chat.
been amazing.
Bestie, I didn't even think. Wait, which? Now I don't know which chat. Oh, there it is.
And then the actual present is what's in the video.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh.
Is it a date? Like what is the shape of? What's
Hmm?
the spinny thing?
The spinny thing is flowers, I think.
Like a little like daisy or something.
Yeah.
Here comes the boy. Hello, boy.
That's real sweet.
Damn you for being all sweet.
No. Be honest, he told me this months ago and I completely forgot about it.
I was banking on that.
That's great.
Yeah, she's gonna look at it and read it and just like do like a little like ways and see the ring and be like, okay, it's just a spinning ring. It's just a spinning ring.
Doesn't mean anything. It's just a
Doesn't
spinny
mean-
ring. It's fine.
It's fine.
Somehow the anti-anxiety rings gave her more anxiety.
Oh god, it's a ring. Oh, okay. It's just a spinning ring. Okay. But I think she's gonna probably wear it on her pointer.
The one that she's always picking at.
Yeah. Just give it a couple trolls. Just like, thank you. I really like it.
I'm glad. He kind of comes in for like a really awkward hug.
He goes in for like a really like strong hug, like just around. She's probably not gonna kiss him.
Yeah. So it's a tight hug, and he's like, I'm gonna figure this out.
I'm so tempted to make it awkward.
I mean,
I would.
But like,
I was just I would hope if anything it would break the tension.
So I'm gonna walk up behind Silas and hug both of them. I missed this.
Perfect.
I missed this, and you're like, we never did this before. Well,
Hate.
too much. So yeah, like in the park area across from Exemplar's Tower, like the park outside there, there's like basically a really good place for them to sort of a amphitheater kind of thing, and so it's not Exemplar Park or anything like that, but they tend to use it for press conferences if they're not just right on the steps of the building doing something informal. So it's this kind of a thing where they've got chairs and stuff like that, and it's supposed to be for little concerts and city concerts and things like that, but they're using it for this today. So Oya comes up and she's all done up and she's like looking you guys over, and you guys have got the new suits. Perry's fiddling with stuff, and it's like, okay, I'm not going to hit the retract because we don't want to do that because that would, bad. But the retract, and did the deploy work when you hit the deploy, or is it the little? Everything's we're all good. Okay, the nanobots aren't tickling, itching in any unwanted spaces, cracks, crevices, anything like that.
Is this Oya talking or Perry talking?
What's that?
Sorry, was that Oya talking or Perry talking?
That was Perry.
Okay.
Perry's the one who's doing with all the suit stuff.
Sorry, go ahead, Mo.
I think Mitzi's just like, it feels like it's tighter. Or is that just me? She's like
tighter than the old suit. Well, it'll give and stretch a little bit more. And if you're hyperventilating, like if you're super nervous about all of this, and this is like causing you a ton of stress about having to be in a bunch of people and having somebody possibly identify you, or just the fact that you've got to do public speaking or anything like that, that would make it seem tighter. So what? Oh, no, I think it's fine. It's exactly the same measurements as the other one.
You're doing great. You're doing great, bud. Why don't you go and look at the gorilla climbing up on that big building?
What? Gorilla? Again?
Oh, right. I forgot that's something.
Anyway. I mean, if I can't have Perry here, at least I can have Perry here.
You did a really good job.
Thanks. Sort of. For some value of good job. Okay. So, I forgot about Patrol. Can't forget about Patrol. Oh my god!
oh my godding. Luca as well? Or Wrecker?
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say Wrecker's probably gonna be there.
Yeah, I gotta get Wrecker, but he's in the back. So up front is primarily Oya for this. God dang. Wrecker's huge.
Yep.
So Oya's front and center of this. The other Vigil and Streak and Blackbird are sort of second tier, like just kind of on the side a little bit, just to kind of add that support. They're kind of back behind Oya. Nautilus is kind of, so like if you're gonna lay this out, and I'm not gonna try and do this, but these guys are probably kind of over like behind Oya where she's speaking, and then over on the other corner, sort of. Well, I forgot. Valkyrie over here. Over on the corner on this side, opposite stage, in the back is Nautilus, kind of doing his thing, and sort of away from the rest of the team. But that, it doesn't look initially really weird. Maybe it feels weird, but it doesn't really look weird out to the thing. It just looks like the team is kind of spread out a little bit. Wrecker and Patrol are just kind of in the back and somewhat in center. So it's kind of, they form kind of a loose arc, but there's still a little bit of distance over to Nautilus. Guardian not around, Golem not around, none of the other really secondary members or anything like that, but it's a good turnout. Oya doing most of the introductions here. There's Aegis folks in evidence, and is one of them, I think one of them is that one agent. Sure.
Oh, what was her name again? It was
Parker?
Yeah, it was Parker.
So she's there. In a little bit more like, this is more like field attire type of thing. So they have like sort of like a, we're going to be in front of cameras kind of thing. It's more of a suit
Are
thing.
handlers there?
Got the pantsuit going.
They're
on.
out in the they're out in the audience. They're like audience plants. Maybe
Love that.
Is anybody
start
any,
the clapping, various parts.
Is anybody from the school there? Like of the ages school and like the high school school or like my art teacher or
That is a good question. Birthright doesn't wear a mask, right?
He doesn't. He's kind of doing the Clark Kent thing where he only pulls his hair down when he's in costume, and he wears baggy clothing when he's not in costume. Like the Billie Eilish thing did not reveal how muscular he is. And then he also has a superhero voice. So
he has a superhero voice. Okay, all
it's
right.
like Batman.
Where's the bomb? What? I don't know what you said.
No,
Where's the bomb? I don't.
Where's Rachel?
Can you articulate? Yeah.
Okay, I have a very simple thing that I would like to do as soon as I see Nautilus.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna get his attention to look over, and as soon as he's looking over to me,
hey, bitch.
what? Do you have an itch, Nautilus?
That's amazing.
He doesn't. He's not even got the smirk. He is 100% profoundly not amused, and not because he got flipped off, but he seems to be angry about something else.
I blew up his ship.
That ain't it.
No, I think
he goes through
you know
ships.
what it is.
He goes through ships like people go through bags of popcorn. His
That sounds really unhealthy for the environment.
His gear is effectively ablative. Anyway,
Jeez.
well, I mean, he builds tech for situations where superheroes are using superpowers. Like, he can't expect stuff not to break. Anyway, yeah, so she's actually the official person on the stage. Special Agent Parker is one of the official aegis person on the stage to lend that sort of air of whatever. In fact, is the initial person to I'm not sure if would she start things off? I think she'd probably start things off. No, it's too close to Exemplar Tower to do that. Oya's initial thing is thank you all for coming. It's rare that we get an opportunity to learn about. Well, I'll start that over. The work that we do is hard. It's not the only hard work that's out there. Many people out there are doing hard work every day that isn't in the news. But it is sometimes lonely work because it isn't work that everyone can do, everyone does, and it is a comfort at times to know that even if we may feel alone today, we will not be alone forever. When others will be stepping up to do this work with us, or eventually do this work for us. We had the opportunity to learn about, thanks to the efforts of Aegis, to learn about a team of young up-and-coming heroes who were extremely promising. And we had the opportunity as a team, members of our team had the opportunity to witness that firsthand as we defended the world from alien forces that had repeatedly attacked this city and received help from bright new stars who are here to help and to protect everyone. And we've We're not bringing in new people into the exemplars, and there's no junior exemplar team as much as you desperately want to make that the headline every week. But they are a group that we're very proud to be working with in the future. And we'd like to introduce Riot Squad and their leader, the son of Transcendent, Birthright. And play Claude, like cameras going off, that kind of thing. Birthright. What?
Hello, everybody.
You do
I think
your
Mitzi
speech.
hears that and she like looks over and she's just like,
Are me and Mitzi
actually-
looking at each other
no.
laughing?
Kind of I feel like you're kind of sticker, but you're also like slightly uncomfortable because his superhero voice kind of sounds a little bit like Transcendent, and to a point where it's like, oh, that's a little weird. And he's still kind of workshopping it, but also like kind of like gotta keep up the persona. So, but yeah, I have no speech prepared.
So what do you want to? There is kind of like the aegis person you haven't really met, kind of like Anoy is like, keep going.
Oh well, no, I was saying I out of character don't have a speech
Yes,
plan. Of course, Silas is prepared, but he goes on and talks something about we're here to do our own thing. We're working tightly with the exemplars, but we also very much have our own identity, and we want to be the next generation and represent the next generation. And it's a very Gen Z talk, and that's his big thing.
Okay, so yeah, you kind of. Well, we'll see. Here we go.
Let's see. Should I make a roll for it?
Let's take a look at this. Here we go.
Oh, there's a move for it. Okay.
There is now.
Hey, well, luckily.
When you make a statement to the cameras, roll superior. On 10 plus, roll 3. 7-9, choose 2. You convince the viewing audience to see your team according to a label of your choice. Your statement will bring you an opportunity from a viewer. Your statement frames you, in particular, as a successful and noteworthy hero of the city. Mark potential. You don't anger or upset anyone important or powerful with your statement.
So, nice thing is, because I whiffed it with Mitzi, I did get an advancement, which I used to boost my savior by 2, since that's what Oya embodies. Or sorry, my superior by 2, because that's what she embodies. So.
Oh, you get the 2 bump. Wow, that's a big bump. Oh, that's right. Protege is crazy when it comes to the stat bonus. Yeah.
And that's a hit.
That is a hit. On the 79, you can choose 2 of those options.
I love a good quest hook, so I think we're going to take opportunity from a viewer.
Okay.
And then I'm not trying to make this any more about me than it has to be, so I'm going to skip that one. I like no, we don't. We want to upset important and powerful people. That's what makes the game fun. We love conflict. So, I'm going to say, what label do we want the viewing audience to see us as? I kind of like... Do we like...
Do you own do you fly the freak flag and try to get the your Gen Z peers, behind you as like the outsider kind of freaks, or do you go with...
I was going to say, I really love the idea how like the Avengers are the varsity jocks and the X-Men are the punks that hang out under the bleachers. I like that vibe of like the Avengers are like the exemplars and we're like the X-Men. I think we might fly the freak flag, even though my freak is a -1.
But so the speech is a little bit more like, we might not do things like the exemplars. For some of you,
it very much has the speech has like a tinge of Deadpool self-awareness to it.
Yeah.
It's very much like that kind of marketing.
Yeah. We might not do things like the exemplars. For some of you, that's probably good news.
There's like scattered laughter through the crowd.
Couple people in the back like, whoa, yeah. The skaters that have just like they got their the amphitheater got taken over, so they're just kind of hanging out in the back waiting for this whole thing to break up, so they can get back to using this whole area, and they're kind of cheering. So yeah, flying the freak flag a little bit. I like that. That's good stuff. Anger or upset anyone important or powerful with your statement. Okay.
No,
Okay.
I didn't take that one, so
I
we
know.
could have.
I know.
But I did take the opportunity from the
it
viewer.
absolutely happens if you don't pick it. Like, that's just
Good. We love that.
And you picked bring an opportunity from a viewer.
I'm just trying to give you more story seeds.
I appreciate that. I really do. Okay. Statement will bring you an opportunity from a viewer. All right. I got to think about that one. That's okay. You don't necessarily know about that one right away.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow. All right. So there's a question and answer period down towards the end.
Good.
And it's not like everybody down on the down below is like shouting questions up to the stage. They bring everybody up. It's not a huge press conference, and they bring as much people up. So everyone's just it's a great big stage, so people are just kind of circling around. There's like people, there's little clusters of people asking different questions and stuff, so people are sort of mingling a little bit more. And they don't exactly make it like a little, handing out like snacks and stuff, but it's much more informal, which is an interesting kind of way to approach this thing. But they love circulating. Aegis has determined that people love circulating like elbow to elbow with the supers and stuff like that. So it usually tracks really well.
I think Mo had something.
Yeah, I know.
Question: are we getting separated from each other? Like
a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
As much as you choose, if you choose to resist that, you certainly can. But as there's stuff happens, and you end up kind of swirling around in various little clusters and stuff.
I think Mitzi unfortunately gets like dragged away to like another to, off to the side, like away from the group, like chatting with people.
Yeah, I was trying to stay as close to Mitzi as possible. But...
Yeah. There's at least one part where it's like. And I think I'm looking at Mitzi's mask. I feel like okay. So this is one of the questions we're gonna throw. The press is kind of throwing at you. Blackbird, Clarity. Another Latina hero here in Halcyon City. Any chance of a team up? Any chance of a mentorship? Are we going to see you two out together, teaming up? Anything like that?
Close to Blackbird.
What's that? This is Blackbird. This is Blackbird and Clarity. Like, you guys happen to be like they were waiting for you guys to fall into the right orbit so they could get you in the same shot and kind of get you to pause for a second. Clarity, Blackbird. Let's get you guys together. Real quick question. 2 Latina heroes here in the city working together. Great representation. We love to see it for our community. Are you going to be teaming up, working together?
I mean, I think Mitzi's going to look to Blackbird and be like, Blackbird's been such a great member of the society as it is.
Probably not. And she turns and walks away.
Oh, shit!
I think Mitzi's like, ah. Well.
Damn.
So,
this is going so well.
what do you want to? How do you want to handle that? Like, how are you going to handle that with the folks there and everything?
I think Mitzi's gonna be like, "Oh, Blackbird, she's so funny." She says, "Probably not right now." Yeah.
Well, no, we didn't think that you'd be flying off to save the city right at the Man, so what's it? And honestly, the reporter who is like asking the question seems kind of like, holy shit. Have you worked together in the past at all?
No. No.
So no history there.
Mm.
They don't just all know each other. Like what?
No, but no, that's not where they're going with that. It's like, is there any explanation for that we just saw? Is kind of where they're clearly where they're kind of angling, and you're just like, no, we just never really.
No. Any other questions? I think she's trying to like.
So you've been teaming up with the team. Have you been teaming up with anybody else? How's the team dynamic? Who are you got? Who's best friends?
Oh, yeah, she's
Favorite
like,
team
yeah.
up? What's it like in space?
One question at a time, please. Just for so she's trying to answer the best she can, like, as it's weird having cameras on her and not wanting to feel like she needs to disappear because oh boy does she want to right now. But at the same time she knows that she shouldn't. So she's just trying to be calm. In the meantime, she's trying to break into Blackbird and be like, "Bitch, why don't you like me?"
So in the middle of all this, you're also kind of like trying to get a read off of her, like psychically.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you unleash your powers.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Nothing.
Just using your psychic ability in the middle of a presser.
A large crowd of people.
I think it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm not hopeless. Okay. Yeah, full hit.
Hey,
oh
look at
yeah,
that.
look at that.
We
Awesome.
love to see it.
I had a plan if it didn't work, and I was gonna break some cameras.
We gonna backdoor.
On a hit, you do it. So yeah, extend your senses. What do you got? Okay. It's tricky with everybody here. What you're getting off of Blackbird is it's more emotion than anything else, but she is kind of like when you it's the emotion of somebody who's done the work and done the work study and sweat and blood and everything like that to get where they are, and then somebody literally like pulled a lottery ticket and got a full scholarship to the same place that they got to. And, it's like, oh, great, inherit something from the old lady, and you just magically get up here on the stage, and suddenly we're just all, together. And you don't know why she's taking that personally or anything. I mean, the same thing's true for Birthright. She doesn't seem to have any emotion about that. It's all on you. It isn't about Revenant. It isn't about Birthright and him getting, being like Transcendent Son or anything like that. It is definitely. And the one clear message, inherit the old lady's powers and suddenly you've got a free pass everywhere.
Okay.
Kind of a thing.
Okay.
Apparently very strongly focused on. Now, Blackbird, we've got at least a miniature of Blackbird where she's like out of uniform. So she's at least like, I think that she's probably, her face is known, her identity is known. I think that she's sort of Black Widow's a bad example, but she is somebody who like is sort of like
Tony Stark.
No, well, kind of, yeah. Tony Stark, if Tony worked for Shield, like she's oh god, who was the guy? Who's Fury's second in command? If Maria, no, Maria Hill. If Maria Hill had like a power suit that she'd made for herself, that's kind of her situation. So she's an ageist person in the same way Patrol is sort of a thing where he's got a power suit and he's technically a member of the Exemplars, but really it's more about him representing the Halcyon Police Department than it is about him being an exemplar. She's like Aegis's rep on the team. And she's there, and she got there on her own and everything like that. She became the best agent that Aegis could put out there, and by definition, and that got her onto the exemplar. So she's an exemplar by God and all this other kind of stuff. But she's not there's some question as to whether or not she'd be an exemplar if it weren't for the fact that she had the Aegis connection. Maybe. But she's known as, she is more accurately Agent Blackbird, and technically Agent Blackbird 2.
Their mom was the first one.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But for different reasons, like she took the name, but it wasn't. They didn't do. Their thing was it was a whole different shtick. It was a completely different power set. The whole thing. So yeah, there's some stuff going on there. Revenant. What's your? We've seen you were aside from the battle in space, you were also involved in the first attack from those aliens that were attacking the first attack at Sentinel Plaza. A lot of very manifesting the big creatures and that kind of thing. That's you, correct? Why Revenant? What's that in reference to? You are you're completely in bounds to say, like, I'm sorry, are you asking for my origin story?
I'm just gonna look at him, and I'm gonna recite one of the definitions of the word revenant. It's a guardian of the dead.
Oh, so do you have? Are you?
Am I dead? No, I'm right here.
So do you have powers of that nature in some way similar to Vigil?
No.
I just love the dead air there. Just like no.
If you watch any of Henry Rollins' interviews, this is exactly what he does.
No. Can you say more about that? Not really. So in what way are you a guardian of the dead? Is it more of a tribute thing? Okay. All right. How's it feel to be introduced to the world by the exemplars?
Shitty.
Oh, okay. All right. So a little bit of an anti-establishment,
And Corbin Dallas with Ruby Rod. Hi. Great.
Super green. Okay, so let's talk to the guy with the ring. Revenant, great to talk with you. And like people, like eventually you get kind of a bubble around you that it seems to be repelling reporters.
Oh.
But you get a couple of the folks that are still sitting out in the chairs. There's a bunch of skaters that are out there in the chairs with their feet up on the backs of like out in the seats and stuff like that. And they're both like, they like they like that action.
Did they hear like the whole interview? Like, are these like being broadcast like for the people?
Oh yeah, they're getting the little. There's like they got the vertical screens on the side of the. Well, they got like vertical screens on the side of the stage, so some of these things are getting routed up onto the screens and that kind of thing. So bits and pieces of it are, yeah. I mean, people are not right in the mix. All the really awkward stuff is getting up on the big screen. That's important.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a bunch of kids like uploading like camera phone videos of him stiffing reporters, being like Revenant is a mood for 2022.
The other meme that comes up there, the little image loop that quickly gets up there is when you first step up there and say hello everyone, and they've got a shot of, they have the hello everyone, and then it cuts to Mitzi going like that, like double taking, and then they slow it down, and it's like like in the slow motion, like what the fuck? And yeah, they put a little image.
What did he say?
Yeah. So that has become a whole thing. When your teammate, it's going up on TikTok when your teammate isn't who you thought they were, and
Right.
you know all this other kind of stuff. I think you'll find this is kind of leaning over your shoulder, like voice in your ear kind of thing. I think you're going to find out that when you screw up, it really helps to have the press on your side to like make you look better when you screw
Are they
up.
saying that to me?
That's yeah, Streak's kind of leaning over. He's like, hey, you don't have to kiss their ass or anything, but it kind of helps to have them on your side.
Please don't blow up on Streak right now. Please do it later.
I'm just saying, you know.
I'm just gonna glare at Streak and then walk away for now. I'm not gonna say a word to her.
All right, bye. It's super great. So there's a couple other things, photo shots, Oya posing with the whole team. They do manage. Go.
One thing
Yeah, go
about the
ahead.
conversation.
Uh-huh.
I think Mitzi specifically does not say that her like Clarity and Birthright are dating. She does not say that.
Okay, yeah. They don't really. I don't want to make it that cliche.
Yeah.
A couple of them, like one of them, starts to ask that, and guys, like, and somebody else is like, "Come on, they're kids, not good. Save it for the Tiger Beat interview." My God.
Okay, I have a request, and I'm gonna go find Agent Parker. So
Okay.
I'm gonna
All right.
be like Agent Parker. So I know we're doing a little photo op at the end of this.
A little bit, sure.
Yeah, I need you. I'm gonna ask you for a favor.
All right.
I need you to make sure that me and Nautilus get a picture together, so I can just make his life as awkward as possible.
Are you? I'm not sure that you want to be that close to Nautilus right now.
I really do, though.
All right, I can do that for you, but what do I get? I mean, I don't owe you a favor, so what are you going to do for me?
I don't know yet.
All right, all right. Tell you what. I would like a demonstration of your new power set.
Once I figure out how to do that.
Oh, now let's not play coy. I know you've been getting a lot of training, and I know you're basically functional.
Functional and good are not the same.
I'm not asking for good. I'm asking for an accurate representation of what you're able to do right now. So, yeah, why don't you swing by Hall C?
It would be such a Caleb move to just do it right there on the stage.
No, Hall C. At the school.
Okay.
When's your free period?
Pick one. I'll figure it out.
No, I don't want to. I'm going to get in trouble if I take you away from classes.
Because I'm in classes so regularly.
No, I'll get in trouble with my superiors for interfering with the operation that is taking place at your school.
Because it's physical activity stuff.
Oh, PE's a good one. Like right after lunch?
I'll check it with them first. If that works, then sure. That's cool. Hall C.
Okay.
Come on.
Hall C. Cool.
Wait,
I'll
they're
see you
just
then.
all the halls are lettered, so you can say like then the rooms off of them are like C1, C2, C3, that kind of thing. That's how they do the branches and stuff in the school.
That's how school works.
It's how school works. Anyway, so yeah, that's a. I like that deer in the headlights saying, "Okay, I'll do you a favor." But what are you gonna like? Wait, we have to. When we say favor, we don't mean like we're gonna do anything back. Like, no,
I don't know. I don't know what she wants. I don't...
She wants to know what you can do. All right.
Me too.
So yeah, there's the full blown. There's the shots with Oya and you guys. There is not a shot with Blackbird and Clarity. Oya and Birthright shaking hands. The whole group's together, and that's the one where you're really right up close to Nautilus. Were you just being in his space or
I want this to seem like we're the best of buds to the public. So when he does crappy stuff, I can just be like, look at my look. I just want to make his life awkward as much as possible. Because I like legitimately looked up to that guy for a while, and then he fucked it up.
That's fair.
Never meet your heroes, kids.
Never meet your heroes, kids. Sorry, I'm just looking at something real quick. All right, no, I don't worry about that right now.
Oh! I know exactly what I'm gonna say to him when we're like in the picture right next to each other.
Oh yeah, what's that?
We're like, man, don't you hate it when a teenager's tech is better than yours?
Oof.
None of my tech has ever made random people in the city want to jump off buildings, kiddo.
That you know of. I want to jump off a building every time you speak, so you don't need tech to do that.
Value add.
Corrupt corporation.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm calling you a corrupt corporation. What the fuck do you think I meant by that?
Caleb. I think Missy's like elbowing him right now, like, Frodo.
Okay,
focus.
we can't, guys, we can't take pictures while we're talking, or it's gonna look like you were talking while we were taking pictures. So, please don't anybody hit me with your laser beam eyes or anything, but zip it.
I'm really glad that I have a mask that covers my mouth, so I don't actually have to smile.
Let me see. Everybody say "Save the Galaxy," because the E thing would get the smile in there.
Right.
Save the galaxy. Click, 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 click.
Yeah.
Great. So you're doing so if I understand this right, Silas is doing the I'm a hero in plain sight kind of thing, and just hoping nobody figures it out. Okay. All right.
I had a mock-up with him like a full Spider-Man mask thing, but I decided against it.
Yeah.
Why the ears are missing?
That is why the ears are missing. Now that I think about it, yeah, because that was the original mock-up.
They probably took them off, and see, you're at least in this picture, the angle is just enough. You can't quite tell that there's no ear. It's probably.
Oh, make it bigger.
It's not that there's no ear. It's just the ear is concealed behind the massive cheekbones, is what it is. It's not my ear. It's the cheekbones. Okay. Yeah.
I'm also counting on the fact that because now we're popular, there's gonna be a bunch of like preteen boys who adopt the birthright haircut. And so that'll make blending in a little bit easier.
That's fair. That's fair.
You know, just as a redhead,
it becomes a weightlifter thing. Yeah. It's a new hot weightlifter haircut. Which is absolutely to be encouraged because again, camouflage by virtue of making all the trees look like me.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, as soon as the photos are done, like Nautilus is gone. Blackbird is gone.
As
Valkyrie.
soon as wait, hold on.
Yeah.
When Blackbird leaves, Mitzi's gonna follow after her.
Okay. All right. All right. Cool. Um, where? So I'm going to kind of go around here. So Oya is probably going to kind of pull Silas aside for a minute. You're gonna, Caleb. You're going over to talk to Streak
Yeah.
somewhere. Uh, Wrecker kind of comes over like right towards the end and is like, "So official, like big. We have to go and
Duke it out
yeah." He
sometime.
kind of comes over and he kind of gives you a little squeeze on the shoulder area. It's like, "All right, all right, this is how it's gonna be. I see. You moving in on my space. That's cool. That's fine. Ready room?
Nah.
Like one of these times we're gonna get in there.
Oh yeah, we'll have to spar once or twice.
Is that all right, boss?" Oh, he's like, "Don't call me boss." All right, boss. Just don't just leave some pieces for me. You used to date him?
Yeah, he's a nice guy. I just had a lot of stuff going on, and
Oh no, I don't. Don't get me wrong. I have questions about both of your both of the decision-making matrix for both of you two on that one. But sometimes one car crash causes another, I suppose. So it makes sense. Let's debrief. And she like kind of heads back over across the street to the tower. All right. So let's do Mo.
Can I pause for a second?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because now would be an amazing time for all of us to take a break.
You're excellent, because I was just about to look at the clock and see where we're at, but we're going to start with Mo when we get back. Is that cool?
Perfect.
All right.
Cool.
5
It's
minutes?
time to
figure
figure it out.
we- Yeah, I was like, cool. Now it's good because I need time to think about what I'm going to say to Streak.
All right. Take care, y'all.
Okay,
I'll
See
be
you in a
back.
second.
John, it's good to see you, buddy. I've missed you.
Missed you too, man.
How's your Christmas?
It was pretty good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, uh I was asking about the D&D Beyond thing because I'm really bad at shipping gifts, and I wanted to send you like a gift card because I really appreciate you sending me a gift. But again, I'm bad at shipping things, and I want to give you something.
No,
But-
you don't have to worry about it. I honestly like it just worked out that like you had that on your wish list, and I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Like it just worked out really well.
Mhm. I'm really excited about it.
Dude, I'm so stoked. I'm excited for when you get to play it.
What is it?
Alien.
Oh, cool.
I'll have to run a one shot for you guys sometime.
Yes, please. I love to be eaten by xenomorphs.
Right?
Who doesn't?
I mean, probably people in the actual Alien universe. Like, I'm sure they don't enjoy it.
So my kids and I are doing up a Starforge game, and at the beginning you set up like all the kind of world truths and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And the main evidence of the precursor race that's still inhabiting like the old vaults and stuff that they left behind are the biomechanical constructs that they built to fight their wars for them, which are still there and kind of still fighting their war, but don't realize that the masters are gone. And I just kind of filed that off to the side. Then I thought, biomechanical. Oh shit! It's aliens. It's the aliens. Yeah,
That's awesome.
that'll be. Yeah, they're really going to be super happy about that later, which will be great. They're doing some cool stuff. They're doing. It's always interesting to do that game. Well, any of these games, because when you do the group stuff, because you end up with a world that you would not normally be playing in. That you would not. It's got elements that I would never have put in, and they're like, nope, we're totally doing this.
So I'm playing. Is it Legacy? Like it's the
Life
like
Beyond the
post
Ruins? Yeah.
Life Around the Ruins. So me and my best friend and his son are doing that game.
Nice.
And his son is only 6, so he's never done anything. But he is basically like we basically gave him full reign on the like overarching like big moves instead of the like day-to-day minutia stuff. So he gets to basically pick all the like big decisions that we make as groups. And it's been funny as shit. One of them, he was like, we need to go save all the giraffes. Like,
Okay.
that was a thing he made our entire group go do.
That's funny.
And so now one of the things about our, like, legacy, because you know how it does, like, generational, like, as it goes on?
Yeah.
So, like, 4 generations down, they are now the warrior band of giraffe riders.
Oh yeah.
So
Sorry, I
fun.
tuned out for a second and then came back to Warrior Band of Giraffe Riders.
That's outstanding.
It's great.
Well, yeah, the Legacy one is one of those games where it's like you play your character for a while and then say, okay, there's been then you shift and it's now a whole new group of players, a whole new group of characters because it's now like 100 years later or whatever.
yeah.
There's official. There's a lot of different like sort of packs that you can apply to Legacy, like sort of preset kind of premises
Mhm.
for that. And one of them that they did up that I think is in the main rules or it's in one of the like free things that you can download is it's Legacy. The idea is it's post-apocalypse and you're all together and you're surviving from generation to generation. And one of the setups for that is you're all on a generation ship, like flying through space to some new world.
Mhm.
And that seems really that would be what I would probably want to do with that game if I was going to do it because I think that'd be really
I think that's
wild.
one of the free downloads they have
Yeah.
for the setup.
It's one of the
It's
strikes me as
so
a
good.
fun idea. It's a neat and I feel like I've got the book here too. It's got a lot of cool stuff. If you don't mind having that bit where you're gear shifting between like the single character scenes and then the part where you're basically playing a whole faction. If you're down for that. And it's a little bit of world building. It's a little bit of like, the apocalypse version of SimCity kind of thing where you're kind of like, building up the infrastructure and stuff to keep the society functioning and all that kind of good stuff. It seems neat. Seems pretty cool.
It's a lot of fun. And he's really enjoying it right now. And I think it's going to be a good introduction to tabletop games for him.
I've where the kids bring in their whole ideas for everything is always pretty wild to me. It's so much easier for me to see the sources on some of their ideas and stuff for some reason with the older kid than with the younger ones. I don't know why that is, but some of them will the younger ones will pop off these ideas and they're not gonzo, they're not crazy or anything. It's like that is wild and I have no idea where you got the idea for that. Like that's or why that's your big fixation that you really want to make sure is in the game or with your character or whatever.
So cool though. That's
It's
awesome
really
to
neat.
see that kind of creativity.
It's easier for me. I don't know why it's easier for me to see it with the older kid, and it hasn't always been the case. I mean, she did it too when they're younger, or whatever. It's interesting. How long do you end up actually able to play with the 6-year-old? Because I've always found that like until they get to be like you're doing much shorter sessions. I think with the young, like I played with all the little kids. And, like we're doing like if I get a half an hour of solid time out of somebody who's 6, I'm pretty much patting myself on the back.
We are playing for about an hour once a week. But what's
cool.
nice is we make sure to do like stupidly goofy voices and like so he gets really into it because he's like, I can just make up a voice for this guy. And we're like, yeah, make up a voice and just start talking. And he's like, oh, that's so cool. And he just like will make up the weirdest voices for some of these characters. And it's phenomenal. And he like it's just cool to have that stuff. Like to instill that like creativity and that like thought process. Because he's loving it. Because he doesn't care what's happening in the story. He's like, I don't care about the story. I just want to play. I just want to be cool characters with,
Yeah, they're not seeing the connective tissue yet. Yeah, it's interesting. Whereas I'm getting to the point with the 8-year-old, and she's the youngest, where she's like, she's got ideas for how the factions are structured. With the the background factions and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty wicked. The stuff
that's neat.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. But it's hilarious because we've got games we can play. We've got a mass game. We've got like an Ironsworn thing for fantasy thing that's kind of Ravenlofty, and we got these other things. And I said we could do all these things, but I was kind of thinking about it'd be neat to do something that was like with Starforge, like to do a spaceship thing. And my son was like, "Ooh, yeah, spaceships, that'd be cool." And I said the problem is we'd have to like basically all we'd get done today is making up the world, making up characters. And my 8-year-old's like, "I love making up characters. It's like my favorite thing." Like. If we could literally like have a session every week where all we did was make up new characters for different games and we never ever played, we could just make up whole new sets of groups with a new group dynamic and new backgrounds and stuff like that. And I think she'd probably be thrilled.
Character creation is actually my favorite part of RPGs. So
often. And Ironsworn's pretty fun for that because you're picking out all these. Ironsworn or Starforged is different from a lot of the Fortune, like I say a lot of the Powered by the Apocalypse stuff, because you pretty much just have your playbook and you just check a couple of boxes. And with Ironsworn or Forged in the Dark, it's a lot more, I think, almost D&D like in its shopping list kind of approach, like kind of thing. It's like, ooh, I've got all these things, because there's all these assets. Like, and initially you're picking paths, so you're not just picking a cool ability that you get, you're also defining some of your backstory, right? So she's the 8-year-old's like picking up. Oh, I can't remember what the name of what the actual name of the asset is, but basically she can like draw shadows in around her and cloak herself in shadow. Is the initial ability that it gets off of this life path, and she's like, yeah, I want to be able to do that, and I want that to be something that nobody is comfortable with. Like nobody likes it. Everybody thinks it's freaky and weird. And that's why I got thrown out of my family. And I'm like, okay, so that You just gave me 2 sentences that told me a whole lot about the culture and your family and you, and that's pretty cool. It's neat stuff.
Cool.
Anyway, we should get back to the game.
Let's do it.
I don't have cameras. Do I have Give me cameras. Give me your beautiful faces.
Get those cameras.
There are 3 beautiful faces, and then me.
Shut up.
Stop.
My
According
friend, you can't be mean to him.
according to TikTok, Sean is the prettiest one. With that
The
9
dumbest.
thing. That was the best video, dude. When he did the smile at the end, that was so funny. I died.
It was good. It was.
Anyway, why can't I see anybody? Where's your
I
cameras?
don't know.
Oh, there we go. I shut mine off and turned it back on again. Now I can see everybody. Huzzah.
So, Discord. Why are you like this?
Damn it, Discord. The only downside, the only good thing you can say about Discord is it's better than any of the other options.
True.
Which is the same thing that you 20 years ago was the only good thing you could say about like Merc and IRC and stuff like that. It was terrible, but it was also the only thing we had that worked. And now it's Discord.
Ours on the floor.
In between that, we had self-run, self-moderated, self-coded bulletin board and forum sites self-hosted on people's websites.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Every those days.
You know, and the thing, it's not maintainable because everybody who used to do that as their solution now have jobs. When you're like totally into RPGs and you're in high school, you're like, yeah, that's totally a thing you can do.
Right.
Or college.
Like, remember when MySpace was a thing and we all just accidentally learned how to code?
Yep. And now it's like, you know, that's just hard. Let's just do TikTok.
Yeah.
And save our videos on our phones for later. Anyway. All right. Okay, so Blackbird is flying off. Mitzi, how do you get her attention? Like, do you like shout in her head, or like fly out and run in front of her, or what do you do there?
Yeah, I think I fly out after her, and I'm like,
Put her in a hamster ball.
Oh, that's a great way to start.
Yeah.
She'd love that.
Yeah, I think she flies up after her, and then like sort of like as they're in the air, Mitzi's like sends a message like, "Hey, wait a second,
Yeah.
can we talk, please?"
I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Oh, I would like to talk about the fact like how you were to the reporter. I want to know what's going on because I thought I don't know any like you seem upset with me and I don't know why. Can you please stop and talk to me?
Okay. I'm not really worried about what you think about how I'm talking to the reporters, but what else did you want to talk about? Our team up?
No, I don't like I don't care about that. I'm just like, why are you? No, I can what I do, right?
Yeah.
You're thinking out loud. I want to know what's going on.
So you've eavesdropped on my thoughts, and now you want me to justify what I've got going on privately in my head.
Well, you're being rude to me and other people and about me, and I want to know what's happening.
I'm not being rude to you. I could be rude to you. I'm not being rude to you. We're not going to team up anytime in the near future.
That's fine.
Hopefully ever.
Why?
Do you just asked, like, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Do you have any idea?
Question: Would Mitzi like because she knows like golden era?
Sure.
Does she really know like the Aegis or like the exemplar folk to like know who they are too well or anything like that?
I mean, I don't know. You tell me. I mean, would she have tracked that kind of stuff? Has she ever been like kind of a superhero fangirl other than just knowing Abuela's stuff?
I think she just knows the history. I think she knows golden era or maybe like the first part of silver era, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think.
I'm not talking about like my superhero. I'll tell you what. your homework. You're like a junior, right? All right. So yeah, your homework is do a little research on who I am. Maybe start with your abuelita or whatever, and just work your way backwards until you get down to the point where you know who you're actually talking to, and then we can talk.
Why can't you just talk to me? We're right here.
I super don't want to.
Why?
And again, we're back to your homework. I think this is an excellent essay question. Now, you could try to force the issue. You absolutely can. For that, though, we need to do a provoke.
And no, I'm thinking of a provoke, and I'm trying to think of how to equip it. So, what's your problem that you can't talk to a teenage girl about?
Oh,
I mean,
fucking gauntlet.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Is that with mundane?
No, provoke is superior.
Superior.
Part of me really wanted Mitzi to snap and just be like, "Listen up, bitch." Like,
Oh, I'm going into a -3 with that.
I mean, there's two options. It works, it doesn't work, or it super doesn't work, and it's just like I said, three options. There's three options.
Let's do it.
All right.
It's fine. Yeah.
I mean, I've certainly had teenagers shout stuff at me that they thought was super telling and did not land.
Yeah.
Oh,
at
-3. Hey, mark some potential.
I did.
All right. So let me look at provoke real quick. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So there is absolutely nothing in my life that I am afraid to discuss with a teenage girl. There is absolutely nothing in my life that makes me obliged to discuss anything in my life or justify it to a teenage girl. You need to stop throwing your powers around like you're doing a Jackson Pollock painting with the entire city and actually use your head for once. So go do some homework and then come back. So the way this will land is you can I'll give you an option here. You can either take Insecure or she's just without it being like a resist shifting your labels thing. She will shift your Superior up and shift your Freak down. Or you can take Insecure, depending on how it lands. She automatically gets influenced because she's an adult. But this is going to be a landing without it resisting kind of a thing, or take Insecure.
I want a fourth condition.
You want a fourth condition?
No, I'm asking.
Do I want a fourth condition? What it boils down to, Chica, is you have to be this tall to ride this ride, and you are not there yet.
I think we're gonna take that fourth condition. That sounds good.
Okay, Insecure it is then. Now, I kind of wanted to try to shift your labels again, but we're not going to worry about that. Anyway, no? Okay, we're done here? Excellent. You can call me when you have found the phone number that allows you to call me. Until then, busy signal. And stay out of my head. And then she flies off. She obviously has got some kind of history thing going on here that's a whole thing. And opinions. And the way she put this like venom on Abuelita, Actually, every time she used any kind of phrase that was kind of even vaguely within the culture of the community or anything like that, she puts a lot of there's a lot of sass on it. So
Cool.
yeah, it's great. It's great. I mean, there's a lot going on here, right? Because she obviously, lifted herself up by her bootstraps. She's also got a lot of anti-Rook stuff going on. So aside from the whole family thing, there's the fact that the other side of the family is not only this thing going on, this whole supers thing going on, but mom and dad are like so far into Rook, they practically have like matching tattoos. So there's
have like all the Rook
there's
mugs
that.
in the house.
I forgot.
there's a whole lot of shit going on. Yeah, like every there is not a day you go to school where you're not carrying something that probably has Rook merch, like a Rook
like
merch
Rook
stamp on.
Tupperware.
Yeah, like or like you've got like one of the many backpacks that dad has picked up from one of the different team building exercises or whatever, where he just takes an iron on and puts it over the Rook logo, and then that's what you use for your school backpack because they're good.
They call it a rook sack.
Oh my god. Yes, Rook has its own branded backpack, and it's called a rucksack. Yes, with a little with a castle logo on it. They kind of go back and forth between the castle and the actual bird. Like you see both of them. They kind of, their branding is a little bit all over the place, but yeah. So yeah, there's family stuff. There's Rook stuff. There's Rook Ages stuff going on there. Welcome to the Cauldron.
Hey, great, love it. I hate it here.
I think the thing is, I'm really happy about this being like a really awful kind of situation because it could potentially get good. And how awesome would it be if it actually was good after this absolutely shitty base 0 start? So yay!
Can only go up, right?
Oh no, it can definitely go back down. I don't want you to think that. No. People like to think that people like to imagine that they've hit rock bottom, but the fact is there's always more down. Especially when it comes to family.
Yeah, I think Mitzi's gonna hang up in the clouds for a bit, just trying to
that's
regain
fair.
Composure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Meanwhile, oh, whoa! I shrunk Silverstreak. Didn't mean to do that. I shrunk. Sounds like a superhero thing. So Caleb, where are you at are you still kind of like over on the edge of the stage or like anywhere in the area, or do you follow her back over to you go over to the building, or you catch her halfway, or does she find you? You wanted to talk to her, so I think you probably find her.
Well, I tell her to meet me up on the hangar where we had our first fight.
Okay. So like up on top of the building.
Yeah, like on the very top of the building.
How do you get up there? Or do you go up through the building? You just like take the elevator? You do not all incidentally have like free access to the building, but
I am going to try out flying and see if I can do it. Because I used to be able to.
Unleash your powers.
Fantastic.
You didn't fly, you had things that you rode on.
I flew not by my own physical ability.
Oh, okay.
He could pass through the air.
With the greatest of ease. I'm sorry.
Let's see how well it works.
Probably not.
Oh, yes, temporary or unstable.
Oh yeah, it's definitely unstable.
So what's this look like? What are you actually doing? Like, what is the effect? What does it look like you're doing? Is it wings? Is it like, are you blasting eldritch fire out of the palms of your hands and feet? Are you?
Oh yeah, I forgot that this is like magic now. That's like just fucking weird.
Yeah. You're initially like, okay.
My vote is like the Human Torch trail, but it's water instead of fire, like just like hydro propelled.
Like those hydro things that have like the tube in the water and it like sprays it and you like that's what it looks like.
Super Mario Sunshine, baby.
I need
Yeah!
I need a picture of this.
Hold
I need a picture of this. Somebody find me something. So
on.
this sounds like a
On
super
it.
legit and stable way to get through the air.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
I couldn't.
All right. So yeah, you kind of come flying. Like Streak is just kind of up there on the thing, and we get a shot of her just kind of sitting there, taking her helmet off, checking her watch, and then you're like, coming up over the edge of the building, like, ha, that was awesome.
And as I like stand up, I'm like, oh, and I only broke one window.
I thought you could do like sea
Sit down.
creatures.
I need you to sit down. We
No,
have a lot to talk
no.
about. I'm gonna go sit on the edge of the like hangar, like looking over, like feet dangling.
Oh my god. All right. She'll come over and sit, kind of facing you, like kind of on the edge of the thing. It's like, what? What's going on?
So we have a couple things to talk about. First, I thought I was mad at you,
Okay.
but I'm not. I'm just disappointed.
We literally haven't talked since like the last time that you were up here. Why are you disappointed?
Yeah. You let them go up there
What do you mean
to
let?
go fight
Who are
a
you talking
race
about?
of people. You're telling me you don't know about Guardian and Nautilus and
Oh, yeah,
Transcendent.
no, they went up there. What do you mean let?
You didn't try and stop them? At least one of them? Maybe not Transcendent. But, like, you could have taken out Guardian or Nautilus easily. And you just let them go?
Okay. We got a few things to unpack here. First of all, I'm a speedster and I run. What am I going to do with a spaceship? A rocket, once it's up in the air?
I had no powers and I was up there. That's not an excuse.
Okay, so I have 3 senior members of my team who are flying up to space to engage aliens that have repeatedly attacked our team and the city. Why would I stop that? Starting with you and a fight that killed your father. Tell me why I would stop any of that. What possible reason would I have for that?
Because you're supposed to be better than us. I'm an angry kid. No, I'm an angry kid.
Okay.
You should be acting much smarter than me.
About what?
And you're letting... What diplomatic lines of communication did you all open with them?
They don't speak any language known on the planet, and they were only ever attacking us when they showed up.
So you didn't even attempt diplomat. You didn't even try and find out what their story was.
I'm not a linguist, Caleb. I don't know what other people. Okay, let's back up.
The resources of the Exemplar Tower.
Exactly, and that's an excellent point. Let me back up for just a second. How many people are on your team? Okay. Do you like them?
Yes, okay. I do.
Excellent. That is fantastic. I am working. This is my job. The building that you're sitting on top of has more people in it than your entire high school by a factor of 3. We have literally... the adults are speaking now. You will wait. We have 3 times as many people in this building as you have in the high school. So tell me, pick one of the people that you only ever see in phys ed class. Okay? And tell me what they're up to all day long. And if you don't know, you know what. Now pretend that they're a human stain with a cigar fixation. And you tell me how much you're actually going to keep track of what they're up to when they are a fully tenured member of the team who gets to do whatever they want, carte blanche, because they're a fully tenured member of the team. I don't want to talk to him, and I don't get to ride herd on him, so why would I know anything that they've got going on? You're doing this as a voluntary extracurricular because you like doing it, and I'm glad. And I hope when you get done with high school and this hobby has the option to become a real thing, that you decide to do it, because I think you'd be fantastic at it. But right now, you're on a work study for the thing that I do every day and have done for the last 15 years. It's just a job I love, but that doesn't mean that there's a bunch of people that I love doing it. And we have roles. It's work. It's not always fun, and it sure isn't interesting when you're talking about a guy with a shrimp, with a pistol shrimp fixation. A guy who the only social interaction I've had with him in the last 10 years has been breaking 3 of his fingers at 3 different Christmas gatherings when he tried to grab my ass.
You only broke 3? I'm impressed by your restraint, but...
And Transcendent, who is literally the best known hero on the planet, and thus nothing anybody can do about it. We didn't know that they were doing it, and when they started, they were doing a thing that even now, knowing what your team has told Aegis and us, still feels like a thing that none of us can really second guess.
Again, that's why I'm disappointed, and it's not necessarily in just you. It's in Heroes as a whole.
That's fair. Where you are right now, you get to... When I was your age, I got to decide that all of the heroes that were adults were doing everything wrong, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing today. And I hope that you use that to carry your way forward, to see what we're doing wrong, and try to do better. I sincerely hope that. I do.
I can respect that.
But... even now, looking back on everything that happened, nothing that they did was wrong.
Because you weren't there, I'm going to leave that alone. Because, yes, what they did up there was wrong. Because they tried to genocide the entire race of them. So,
that's not the whole race, that's a spaceship! Yes.
Great, killing an entire city full of alien life is just fine. No, you cannot argue. That is a moral failing.
Sure, they shouldn't have tried to destroy the city. And I don't think that's what they were trying to do.
He flew through the foundation of the entire thing and then fired an ion cannon at their entire support structure for their atmosphere.
Yeah.
No, you were not there.
Why
you
did they do that?
Speak to their...
And why did he do that?
To end them.
No. I guarantee you Transcendent wouldn't let that city go up. But aside from that, we don't need to argue about what ifs. Why did he do it? Caleb, why did he do it? Do you even know?
Killing that many people?
It wasn't to kill him.
We're going to have to just... No.
Do you seriously not know why he was doing it?
Were you... Again, what you saw from there being in the action...
I've read the briefing. I know what the purpose was.
Oh, you read the briefing. You weren't there.
Why did they do what they did, Caleb? I feel like this is important for you to understand. It's super important. It directly impacts your team. Why were they doing what they were doing? It would have anything to do with the monkeys. They wanted Dr. Infinity. They got Dr. Infinity, and now look what happened. Look what's happening in the city. I know you know about this because of the thing that happened yesterday. They were trying to stop all of the time fuckery that's been going on because now it's clearly out of control. And they know that every time they go after the monkeys, Dr. Infinity shows up. And look, it did again. And they finally got it. And then we find out that your buddy built it. So maybe when you get really upset about them acting against Dr. Infinity, it looks a little sus.
Cool. I'm glad that you can justify killing an entire race of people, no matter what the reason is.
I wasn't there.
Whether it's an entire city.
As you like reminding
you're
me,
right.
I wasn't there.
Exactly.
I'm running around the city catching people trying to jump off buildings. And that's your buddy's fault. Because he built the thing, and now it's just echoing around and driving everybody crazy. Starting with Guardian, who, again, I don't like. But I also think probably he doesn't need to have gone through something that put him in a straitjacket. Neither should anybody else. Judge us. Keep us on the straight and narrow. Tell us that we're assholes. Tell me I'm an asshole. Do better. Maybe start with the thing that your buddy made. Also, you know, I could give you advice, but you're not going to listen to any of it. So I am glad that you are an official team now and you can fix all this for us. Now I got to go on patrol.
As she's walking away, I'm gonna whisper, "I saved my mom."
I am really glad to hear that. I am really, really glad to hear that. I want this to work for you guys because I really, truly think that you're going to be better than us. Or at least, and this is what her face is, at least better than Guardian.
Bar's on the floor for that.
Bar's buried. The bar's buried. Just try not to dig, kid. I'll talk to you soon, Caleb. I really will.
Appreciate it.
Sean's sitting there going,
Bravo! Like, so good. That whole thing, so good.
and I love the fact that Sean's sitting there
Yes.
going, what the
Also-
fuck? Who's jumping off of buildings? What?
I was also like, I missed one session. Apparently, I missed a lot more than I thought.
Didn't do a lot, but we did a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Not many things happened, but they made impacts. They were waves.
Luckily not on sidewalks. That was why we had the discussion ahead of time to make sure that people were okay because
Yeah.
Facet
Yeah.
was on a knife edge.
He-
Caleb is just so adorable. She couldn't bear to lay that on you. Anyway, okay, are we good?
After like
You
one
can-
more quick scene.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I meant good.
Okay.
I meant good with Caleb because I wanted to get you with.
so,
Yeah.
as she says that, I'm gonna.
You can try
start-
and do something with her to make an impact or provoke her or something like that and try to get her to hear this more.
Oh
but-
no. I just wanted to have the conversation.
Yeah.
She's like the only one on the team right now that I actually still respect. So
And my point with all of this is not for her not to be listening, but for to expose and more to the players than the characters to understand that from the adult's point of view, no one's particularly covered in glory in any of this, and now there's like all this fallout.
I thought you did a great job with that.
Yeah.
Like that was phenomenal. It makes perfect sense. Like from a player perspective, Like, it was
Yeah.
awesome. It was phenomenal. It was
Yeah.
very, like,
And I love the fact that
like
your point of view is like, but this thing is wrong. And they're like, yes, but all of this. And they're like, yes, but this thing is wrong. Yeah, and they're like, yes, but all of this. They're both taking the big picture and being incredibly short-sighted, which is basically
adults.
adults.
I loved the bit about where she was like, "Yeah, I miss being a teenager and being able to like make those criticisms myself." And I was like, "Yeah, that's what it's like."
And Streak is the close. Streak is probably one of the closest ones to that. She's not the youngest by any stretch of the imagination, but she's the closest to that mindset still. But she's also the person who's been like, "Wow, corporate life sucks," and unfortunately, Exemplar Tower is the job.
Yeah.
You guys are the after school passionate RPG club of superhero fighting, right? You love it. You're in it. You're the thing. And, you're we're like cosplayers. Yeah. And then they're the people who are like working for Weta making like the full body armor suits and the fake hair for the orc outfits and stuff like that. It's still the same work. Probably a little bit of the joy has come out of it because it's a paycheck and the hour and day after day after day after day. So
there was one last thing that
Yes.
I'm going to do.
What's that?
And it was as she's like,
Mm-hmm.
so the thing that hit me the most, especially after like talking to Facet and kind of realizing how she was feeling and what she just said about running around the city, like pulling people off of ledges and stuff like that. I'm immediately going out on patrol, and I'm literally just looking for people to catch.
I love that. That's really, really
That's
cool.
it.
Helping where you can.
I can't undo anything that Perry was going to do or is doing, but I can help deal with the fallout at least.
And technically, what she's saying is not right, but well,
it doesn't matter whether it was
everybody
correct or
needs
not.
more
That's what I'm going to do now.
Yeah.
So, and I just send a text to the group. I'm like, going out on patrol.
Which has got to be, I have to say, is probably the first time you've ever done that as such. Like done the superhero thing and gone on patrol. Do me a favor, please, and roll Savior for me. Roll Defend, basically.
Okay, so I'm going to get a -2.
Oh, because you got a condition right now?
Yup, I have insecure.
Oh, perfect. I have my fingers crossed for you. Ooh, okay. All right. So you don't get anybody on a ledge. Okay? But you get you don't get anybody who's feeling like self-destructive thoughts. But you do get somebody who is also mark potential.
Oh, hey, guess what that is?
Oh yeah.
That's come unlucky.
Oh, I love it. Okay. So I'm going to give you a follow-up roll here. We're doing this thing. Okay, we're close on time. So you get somebody who is very, very agitated. You get the feel that you're going through for this, and I don't know how you move around, but probably it's just kind of like you're just moving around at street level and kind of, trying to get a sense of this. And there's a little bit of like looking up at balconies and things like that. But you finally get is somebody who is, you don't find them, they find you. And it's one of the I'm not going to remember but it's one of the sort of the big strapping guys that was like one of the statues that you found in Sentinel Plaza that was like a regular dude,
Okay.
who you guys ended up getting back out from the forest. Well, you guys didn't specifically, Mitzi did, Clarity did. Um, and he's ragged. He's just like, 4 days worth of stubble, red rim, red bloodshot eyes, and he smells of unwashedness and day drinking and a lot of stuff. And he's like, Revenant. Uh, I uh, I
You all right?
I keep being in the forest again. I know you guys rescued us. I know that Clarity got us out, but she didn't. Like she didn't in the
You're
so
remembering still being there?
I'm remembering dying there. I'm remembering they sucked all the life out of the trees, and your mom got. And this is stuff that has not been in the news, like the fact that it's like your mom, like it was like they were rescued from this supernatural horror, and they brought us out, and they fought the thing, and the whole thing about it being your mom is like that is not anywhere even kind of, it was, chthonic horror, typical blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And your mom got bigger and bigger and like swept you over and then pulled all the life out of us. And that happened once. Another one we were cut down. Another one like you won, but we were destroyed. And it's, which one's right? I just, I didn't get to come home to my family, and my wife got remarried in one of them, and we didn't have I don't know which one's right, and I'm trying to straighten it out, and they don't know what I'm talking about, and it's starting to really freak my kid out.
Okay.
Is this normal? Is it gonna fade? I know which one's right. It's the one that's in color, and the one with the red water, and the one that isn't all gray.
It's not black and white.
Yeah, but
Okay.
did we get in the right one? Am I in the right one? Because it doesn't feel like
You're
I'm
in
in
the
the right
right one. You're in the right one. I promise you, we're working on fixing this so you can forget all those black and whites. Okay? Let's go.
If you
Come with me. Let's go talk to a doctor. I don't know if they can help, but I know some guys.
Talk to a
And
doctor.
they might.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna have you. Hang on. Oh, why did I do that away? Hate when I close stuff I still need. Okay. This doesn't last for long. This'll We're gonna circle back to this. Basically, a couple of folks have got from different angles have done like phone footage of you talking to this guy and talking about all this stuff and how he has these different memories, and you kind of nodding and sort of helping and completing a sentence and then taking it like, okay, but we're gonna go talk to a doctor. Like, I don't know we're gonna take you to a doctor kind of a thing. That's what goes out. What the internet decides to do with that, we'll talk about here in just a minute.
Okay.
So I will tell you one interesting thing is that as you get him to like, you kind of like, because you've got the Aegis number from the agent from last night.
Yeah.
Like she gave you the card thing, so you kind of, it's like, we got one of these people who are acting like, it's like, okay, give us a location, and they get a van, and they come up as and it's done up like sort of a like a ambulance type of situation. It's flagged like an ambulance. It isn't like an undercover Aegis fan that looks like an ambulance. It's an Aegis fan that's meant for health emergencies. Okay.
Yeah. It's a health transport.
Yeah, and it's they get you and him. They get him in there and they bundle it. It's like we got it from here. Thanks for finding him. Everything will be fine. We know how to approach this from there on. And the van pulls away, and you're sitting there just going like, great. And a couple of like alerts, like my name has been mentioned on the internet, kind of alerts start popping up, and you're like, what? And as you're doing this, you kind of get like something goes right across your vision, and you're looking around, and Bill and Ted are circling you.
I'm gonna straight up cry.
And
I'm like
they cuddlefish up against your face.
I just hug and I just like fall, like I like sit on the ground just with my legs out, like crying, just holding them.
Okay. I am going to. Okay, so we're going to have a little bit of a thing. This is going to be the fallout from this. I'm going to loop back around to that though. So I want to get to Silas.
So, did you have something in mind, or you want me to go? Because
no, you go. You can go too.
Right,
she's
cool.
got something on her mind, but I don't necessarily have anything on my mind. So you go.
Yeah. So I wanted to use Fireside Chat.
Okay.
And so I'm going to roll on Superior and see if they will help me.
Let's just look. I want to look at the thing here real quick. So we have it because we haven't looked at this one before, and I'll throw it up in the chat so we can all look at it. When you seek advice from your mentor, roll plus the label they embody. On a hit, they'll tell you what to do. 10 plus mark potential if you follow their advice, and take +1 ongoing to follow through. Oh, +1 ongoing. You. 7/9 +1 forward. See it. If you see it through, if you do it their way. On a miss, you don't have time. They don't have time for you because something big has gone down. Oh, I can do everything in this on the roll.
I know you would. I was like, yeah.
I can do everything in this. So what do you bring to her first before you roll? Oh dear.
But I essentially was like, wanted to. And this is probably perfect that it's a miss, because I'm bringing teenage drama to her. But I was just kind of like, look, this whole thing's new to me, and this team is like, they're my team, but before they're my team, they're my friends, and I'm having a hard time figuring out how to be a leader, but also to be friends with them, and how to balance out being a superhero with being their friend. And it seems like everyone in the Exemplars just hates each other, and I don't want that for us. I want us to be like a more tight-knit team, and I'm just trying to figure out how I can be both a leader and be a friend to my friends, and all that.
Okay, those are all really good questions, Silas, and I think it's really great that you're asking them. We need to talk about something else right now, and I mean right now. So we shouldn't have gone to Mars. That was apparently a terrible idea, because I missed out on some extra information that we're getting from Aegis. How much do you know about? Have you heard about so far about false reality syndrome?
Come again?
That's outstanding. She goes on to explain, and this is going to be some of this is going to be new information for the other folks here sitting at the table. Most of it won't be, but some of it will be new. Before the situation that happened in space that you were a part of, everyone,
not my fault.
Everyone,
by the way,
everyone part of Exemplar, everyone who was part of the Exemplars, and some other specific individuals, we're not exactly sure why, were unable to go more than 50 miles outside of the city. That went away when Nautilus was able to dismantle an android known as Dr. Infinity. I think you are aware of that individual, that particular being.
And it rings a bell, maybe.
Probably where they somehow, and we're not exactly sure about that, although I think Vigil's holding out on me with this, but apparently
she's good at that.
There's some connection there with one of the members of your team. Everyone else came back home. Transcendent was able to leave and left. Nobody knows where, but he does this about every year or so. So I'm not especially concerned about that. If anything, he's well behind schedule from when he normally leaves. So he left, and Nautilus and Guardian came back. Everything was basically okay for about 2 weeks, aside from those two having male menopause for the whole period of time and being completely unable to be dealt with. And then Guardian basically lost his mind and is remembering, as near as we can tell, different realities. This was about 2 or 3 weeks after everything happened.
As she's talking about this, does this kind of sound like what was going on with me the first time that we went to the monkey place?
No.
Okay.
No. He knows which reality is the correct one, but he also thinks that all the rest of them are warnings, and it was causing a lot of things. We thought there might have been some weird temporal tachyon radiation thing going on or something like that. The situation is worse. It's getting worse. Not with Guardian. It's spreading. And it's happening with more and more people. And some of them are folks who are already under a lot of personal stress, and they are not dealing with this new complication well. I mean, Guardian's hardly the bastion of mental stability, but he's pretty much got things wired enough together to be able to hold, to keep things okay. That's not what's happening with a lot of folks. And your team, at least, was involved in one situation where someone was pretty close to a breaking point last night. And I know that Aegis was involved in that point in time. We need to collectively figure out what's going on and figure out how it's happening or why it's happening. If you, and I don't mean you, but if you collectively lost control of something with the if that android was containing something by resetting us, then we need to figure out what that was and figure out a better solution than putting us in a cage. If that's not what was happening, and I'm not convinced that that's the deal, because this didn't happen until several weeks after that whole fence went down, we need to figure out that too, because it seems to have all the hallmarks. I shouldn't say it doesn't have it doesn't remind you of anything at all like the reset. It doesn't. It in fact is the first thing you think of. So yeah, it feels like it could be connected. But we need to figure out what this is, and we need to figure out how to fix it. We're not going to hang anybody up to dry, and I'm not. I don't. We only have Nautilus's word to go on for the fact that Dr. Infinity is connected in some way with your team. So we need to eliminate that possibility so we can all work on this. But we shouldn't have gone to Mars because everybody needed somebody to step in and make some decisions here. And since nobody else was willing to do it on the team, we let Aegis make all the calls, and now we're marching to their game plan. So, guilty? Maybe? It says the thing says the thing says you're supposed to pick up a condition, or afraid, or insecure. No, guilty sounds okay. All right. On a miss, they don't have time for you because something big has gone down. Market condition, GM choice. She, in the broader scheme of things, and I think the important part that you guys didn't know is because Perry had immediately jumped to, oh, the bubble came down and then this happened. And that's not the timeline. The timeline is it was weeks before something happened that Guardian started to, and it didn't have anything to do with the space battle. Like he doesn't have an alternate memory of the space fight or something. It's other stuff entirely. Which is why Oya is going, well, that doesn't make any sense. It isn't that was doing it, but something is causing it. So, hey, if it's any consolation, about half of the stuff that we end up doing is fixing something that we did, something good is fixing something bad that happened from something good that we did before. So,
no, the consequences of our own actions.
Oh no, the consequences of my own actions.
I have a meme for
Comes
this.
the
Hang on.
consequence. But the
That's
consequence,
great.
consequence
Well,
right now. Anyway, so you did not get the advice that you were hoping for, but hey, you did get a potential.
Oh, I do get a potential, don't I? Or do I?
Yeah, because you
I
missed
thought
it.
Oh yeah.
The
Okay.
move is great because it gives you potential somewhere in the middle, and it also gives you potential if you completely blow the roll. Hooray!
Been a bad day for Silas.
Aw, bud.
I posted a meme for this exact thing.
So the takeaway here, Caleb, is that the internet is talking about, false reality syndrome continues to mess with people. Our brand new shiny heroes can't seem to do anything about it, and are just shoving people into ageist vans for ages to deal with the problem. And it may be connected to the thing that they did where they rescued those people from that weird spirit realm. Because they're getting bits of the audio like, I remembered this with the trees and that with the trees, and you rescued us, but you didn't, and blah, blah. So some asshole has decided that those two things are connected. So maybe the false reality syndrome is because of this whole spirit thing that you did, and you did it wrong, so that's why everybody's hallucinating.
I blame Troll.
That's very... Oh. Love it.
You're welcome.
So...
I'm gonna beat the crap out of Troll.
You gotta find
He's
Troll.
the worst. He's the worst.
So, the internet is going to get influence over you like it's a person. And... What's that? Over Caleb.
Caleb?
Over Caleb. And the internet wants to shift your labels and shift your danger up and your mundane down.
You want to shift my danger up?
Yeah, which means if you don't resist it, you'll actually just take a condition because you can't shift your danger up.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm definitely going to reject other... Because this is rejecting somebody's influence?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, cool.
I
have a move.
But
I was going to say that I don't care what you think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you do. Whenever you reject another, add +2 to your roll. Nice. So just roll the flat 2d6, but then give yourself the +2 modifier.
It is...
The flat 2d6, flat 2d6 plus the... Then we don't get conditions in there or anything like that. But when they ask you for a modifier, give yourself a +2.
Okay, so situational bonus 2?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What do we got?
Oh, and it would have missed without that +2. So
that's awesome.
That move.
That's awesome. When you resist somebody else's influence, reject someone's influence roll on a hit. You successfully hold to yourself and tune them out. On a 7 to 9, you can choose one of the below. Clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. Shift one label up and one label down, your choice, or cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them.
I'm canceling the internet's influence and taking +1 against the internet.
So there's about a half an hour of you're just now getting you're just starting to get into the doom scrolling of like Twitter psychoanalyzing these videos that went up and like all this stuff, and it's like it's because they screwed up the whole rescue thing in the spirit realm and blah blah. And you're just about to start in on the doom scrolling, and Bill and Ted show up, and you're like, you know what? That's going in my pocket. Give me here, you big slimy. No. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
You guys
eventually
this
I'm gonna have to.
This is a rough episode for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mitzi's up in the clouds. Silas is crying on a sidewalk, like a bus stop bench. Or sorry, Silas. Caleb is crying on a bus stop bench with a couple of cuttlefish in his arms. Where's Silas? Like up on the helipad, looking out over the city with the wind blowing his hair, looking like fuck, or like where is he at?
No, I think that he's at the top of Exemplar Tower, just like sitting on a ledge, like looking down, like what the hell? This sucks. This is the thing I wanted, and now like I hate it.
All right. Around the ring here. I got to take my kid to a birthday party, so I can't take too much time on this. Silas, closer to the team, further away from the team, more into an image of yourself.
I have to say further away from the team because I've just been whiffing it this whole time.
How about Perry?
I was thinking that Perry is probably the person that I take influence away from because it's kind of now at this point of like from everything Oya told me, I'm like, can I trust Perry? Because I didn't know that this is what he was doing.
This was even happening. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. So yeah, I'll modify Perry's sheet here real quick and just take you off of that. Birthright. Oh no, wrong place. Influence over you don't have. He doesn't have influence over you already.
Hmm.
So you have to go with somebody else. You only have Caleb left.
No,
because you guys,
you had lost Mitzi.
You and Mitzi mutually removed influence.
Oh yeah,
we gained influence back. I'm the only one left. You bastard!
I still have influence over Silas. I removed his influence over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I guess it's gonna have to be Caleb then.
Mitzi's the last person he's hearing. You poor kids. I'm saying to the characters, not the players. You guys are fine.
Yeah.
Mitzi.
Players chose this.
Mitzi. Closer, further away, image of yourself.
I don't think it's further away, but
fourth option, fuck Blackbird.
Blackbird, that's the one I'm going to go with.
Big one.
I don't see close to the team, but at the same time, like I don't have a good explanation for going into your own image.
Well, I mean, she stood up for herself.
She did.
You know, when she went after Blackbird.
Emotionally, but yeah, I mean, you're sitting up there in the clouds trying to get a picture of who you are, and some of that is self-reflecting and going, okay, she obviously thinks a certain thing about me, but that's not true. That's this, and you know, doubling down on that a little bit and leaning into the things that how you see yourself, kind of a thing. I've always been so impressed by the fact that it's like the people that you hear in the world end up being how you tend to see yourself. I don't know, in this game, and I think what's funny about that is like we joke it's a teen game, but honestly it works perfectly well for all of those CW superhero shows because it's so often like somebody says you're this and they go no I'm not, and then they proceed to be that for the next step for the rest of the episode because it clearly lands with them every time.
I think I'm gonna go into her own image because of that then.
Okay. And then you can just all you have to do is shift labels.
I'm looking. I really bring Freak down because Freak is pretty high. Then how would I shift up? Maybe Superior? No. Dane? No.
I mean, mundane is that it's always going to be that like are your social skills a disaster?
Well, you did get the whole thing from Blackbird of go do your homework, so maybe Superior, since you're trying to assess.
I mean, my Superior is at a -1 right now, so
yeah.
I'll bring that up.
All right. That seems good. Yeah. I mean, at least you're not penalized. Although you might need to clear some conditions. I think it's time for some irresponsible behavior to clear some conditions, or maybe comfort and support. Have we all seen the latest Spider-Man movie now?
Yes.
No.
No?
Yes.
No? Oh,
No.
you have to go see
I've
it!
been sick. Also, I don't want to go to a theater. So
That's
fair.
completely reasonable.
That's absolutely totally reasonable. I will say, and it's not a spoiler, but there is a scene in there that is literally all the players deciding that they're all going to do comfort and support on each other at the same time, back and forth. And I was like, oh my god, it's so good. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Caleb, closer, further.
I feel further away from the team.
Who are you taking influence away from?
See, that's the thing is, I only know who I'm not taking influence from, and that's Mitzi. Because like, Mitzi is the like, but
I mean,
like, so here's the thing. Perry may have screwed up,
you can't
but
take
he's
away.
at least been here.
Perry doesn't have influence over you right now. You can't take influence away from him.
I've been kind of a dick. It's fair.
That's the thing is, that's what I was like. It's gonna be one of the two because like you've been gone this whole time.
I just want to appreciate the support
you
guys as players are giving to each other for like this feels awkward and painful and horrible and I feel bad about it, and the player's like, no man, I deserve it. No, I have been a total dickhole by all means. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna take influence away from
Cool.
Silas because I just he feels like you haven't been there for the team.
It's true.
Was your next advance going to be the base thing or no?
That was Come On Lucky.
Come on, Lucky, but after that, did you have another plan for the next thing after that or no?
I have a plan for every single move that I'm going to take. Like,
what was your next advance going to be after Come On, Lucky? That was
the next one after that was where was it? I had it written down.
all right.
It was because it was going to be Come On Lucky.
Uh-huh.
Come On Lucky, What the Hell Hero.
Okay.
That was one of them.
All right, gotcha. All right.
And I feel like I'm kind of moving down that path right now.
So the last couple of scenes we see like, you know, you and you're hugging the thing. Well, actually, we're going to start with Silas, kind of with the wind blowing in the superhero hair. He doesn't have a cape, but he does have practically a cape, just on one side of his head. And we, you know, Mitzi up in the clouds, kind of looking down. Both of you guys are going to look at the city. And we get down to Caleb, and we even see Perry like in his bunker, and he's kind of gesticulating wildly and talking with like the holographic picture of Dr. Infinity, and kind of going back and forth, and you know, we don't know what he's saying. And we get back to Caleb, he's like hugging all the thing, and then the after credit scene, that was like the sad music, and then the after credit scene is like the two cuttlefish like kind of pull away and kind of loop their little tentacles around your hands and are like tugging you along, and you're like, what? And they're like,
Okay.
And we see him like being led like along the city. And Halcyon City is the kind of city where, I don't know if you've seen Hawkeye or not, but even if you haven't, spoiler free, there's a very New York thing about the fact that both of those characters can just walk around holding a bow with a freaking quiver of arrows, and nobody in the fucking streets even blinks. And it's not because it's Marvel, it's because it's New York.
New York, yep.
It is that city. I love that city. Anyway, so nobody really even blinks at two spectral cuttlefish tugging somebody along the street.
Specifically the like hero that was just on the news.
Yeah. So, and they're bringing you to what you think originally Sentinel's Plaza, but then they take you up into the building, like your dad's old building, and you're there like, oh, come on, guys, we can't go back into we can't. It's not guys. And they get up to the door, and they all kind of nudge the door, and the door opens with the.
Cool.
and
Cool.
you step in, and we see it looks different. It's not quite as, it looks different. The view out the window is just a regular view out the window to the rest of the street. So that's not really a thing. And then you hear a groan, and the two cuttlefish kind of swirl off, and you kind of come over. It's not the groan of somebody who's like, "Oh God, I've just been punched in the head. I have a concussion." It's like you hear somebody like, and you come over to the couch, and laying on the couch like they've been taking a nap is your mom.
The faint. That's it.
She looks up and she's like, "Hey, sweetie," and then you're like,
exactly, just immediately back.
Big thump, and then the screen goes black, and then we hear, Caleb, and that's it.
Perfect.
Oh. What?
I think it's really important that Caleb have an adult to nag him about his homework.
That's fair.
I mean, the adults at Mitzi's place weren't nagging him enough.
I mean,
Absolutely, they were.
some of them.
They're like, if you're gonna stay here, you need to get your grades up.
Okay. Thank you all. I'm gonna end stream here, so talk scheduling real quick, and I gotta get my kid to a birthday party. End the stream.